In this package, President Jonathan declares to contest for second term today. AKBC News Directorate relocates to transmission station in Ntaganda. State Emergency Management Committee to build 6 resettlement centers. Details shortly. A very good morning to you today. Welcome to AKBC 45 News. I am Mathlin Mbom. President Goodluck Jonathan declaration to contest for second term will hold today, Tuesday, in 6 cities in Africa, United Kingdom and the United States of America. As President Jonathan mounts the podium at the Eagle Square in Abuja today, a replica of the event would be staged in Johannesburg, South Africa, London, and in 4 American cities of Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Houston. The global dimension added to the President's declaration is said to be sponsored by his supporters and members of the People's Democratic Party in the diaspora under the aegis of the One Nigeria coalition. Meanwhile, the special advisor to the President on political matters, Professor Rufai Alkali, has said it will be unfair to deny Jonathan the right to seek re-election on account of the insecurity in the Northeast. More than 3,000 victims of fire, communal clash, windstorms, flood and landslide disaster in the state have within the last 1 year received relief materials and cash donations from the State Emergency Management Committee. The Permanent Secretary Office of the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Eno Sampson, made this known while presenting this progress report of committee to members of the College of Permanent Secretaries. Mrs. Sampson said the intervention were possible because of the benevolence of the state government and donations from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. The beneficiaries, according to how were disaster victims in Eastern Obolo, Eket, Esedeket, Mbo, Uyo, Abak, Ibionibon, and Ona local government areas. She announced that a standard warehouse for the storage of emergency and disaster relief materials will soon be constructed in the state in addition to the construction of 6 reception areas for disaster victims hitherto accommodated in schools and churches. The Permanent Secretary also hinted on plans to generate an up-to-date disaster data bank, procure standard equipment, and provide necessary logistic support to ensure quick intervention and effective emergency and disaster management in the state.
The Office of the Deputy Governor resuscitated the interest in Cocoa Farm Estate, which was abandoned for over 5 years.
Commenting on the presentation, the head of civil service, Mrs. Cecilia Odoisian, lauded the state government for the support to her office in the execution of government plans and programs. The management of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation has implemented its decision to enhance the proficiency and productivity of its news directorate by relocating the directorate and support services to Ntaganda. The relocation of the News and Current Affairs Directorate Production Service as a section of the Marketing Directorate of the AKBC to the corporation's transmission station at Ntaganda along Itu Calabar Highway took place yesterday. Uduak Ekong has the details.
Personal sacrifices had to be made as staff of the radio and television newsrooms forfeited their Sunday morning to participate in the relocation process of moving necessary furniture and equipment from the old newsrooms at 3 Udo Udoma Avenue to the new newsrooms provided at the transmission station. The Director of News and Current Affairs, Comfort Umana, supervised the movements from the old to the new location, as well as the allocation of furniture, to the various departments that make up the News Directorate of the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation. One of the early callers to the News Directorate on Monday morning was the Director General of the AKBC, Pastor Praise Okon, who undertook a tour of the various units of the radio and television newsrooms and advised staff to settle down to their prescribed duties.
I still feel very, very excited. In fact, after inspecting all the offices, I am even more excited because I can see that all the things that we had been expecting, all the improvements we have been expecting, we are moving closer to achieving them. Generally, the basic things that are needed for effective operation have been provided, and management will continue to look at those things as they arise so that we can put everything in place.
Of interest, Director General, is the synergy that the relocation has brought and the fact that the station will henceforth record enhanced service delivery.
The issue of bringing news late is completely eliminated. This is also going to improve synergy. Let me also take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the Governor for encouraging us in this movement. We believe that we have taken a major step towards moving AKBC to its permanent location. And with this, I believe that the issue of corporate headquarters is going to be even expedited. I am very, very optimistic that the staff will also take advantage of this movement to provide better services. This should also be motivation for many of our staff, especially in the News and Current Affairs Directorate, to do their own very best. So the things we didn't have there, we have them here. So we expect better service. I'm very happy. And I give God the glory for in all these things. I return all the glory to God.
To the Director, News and Current Affairs, Comfort Umana, the movement of the News Directorate will eliminate the lateness and failure of news bulletins associated with the hitherto long distance between the News Production Center and the transmitting studios. Other staff of the Directorate also see the relocation as a positive development.
The greatest problem I had as a supervisor in the News and Current Affairs Directorate was the issue of making the news to be dynamic at the time. Many times we apologize. The management of AKBC, the Director General and myself, the head of the Directorate, we were not happy. But we find ourselves in a situation we couldn't help, because one thing or the other would cause the news to be late. It wasn't of our making. We are now close to the studio. The synergy production will be enhanced.
The proximity to the studio is before now, our listeners were used to broadcasting independent radio. The expectation that we go further from the public, management, and the government will be for them to see more productivity, more innovations, more value of the news we produce.
But right now, you can just produce your news, then pass it to the studio for casting. So there will be no lateness of news again, and it will facilitate, the performances of staff. For me, it's a pleasant experience. We'll have enough time to look at the bulletin, scrutinize it, and then possibly update them as often as we can, so that the bulletin comes up on time.
With the News Directorate just a step away from the live studios of the AKBC, better days ahead. Utwakeko reporting.
The state's Chief Judge, Justice Idonsit Ntemiswa, has advised young people to be honest, hardworking, and responsible so as to become useful citizens. Justice Ntemiswa stated this at the Children's Party held as part of the activities marking the opening of the 2014 to 2015 legal year. The report is presented in our studios.
According to the Chief Judge, obedience to parental guidance is a prerequisite to holistic grooming. Justice Ntemiswa charged the children to shun influences that could mar their future. The Chief Judge urged the children to have role models, adding that every child who is focused and determined will have an enviable future. She disclosed that the party was a yearly event held as part of activities to mark a new legal year and to tell the children of staff that the judiciary loves and appreciates them. Justice Ntemiswa was represented on the occasion by a judge of the State High Court, Justice Joy Unwana.
At the beginning of the legal year, we carry out certain events to mark the beginning of the legal year. And the Children's Party is one of such events that we try to do every year. Special time for the children because these are very important.
They displayed their talent in singing, recitations, dance, and choreography. They also showcased their knowledge of current affairs, basic sciences, civil education, and religious knowledge in the quiz and debate sessions. The effectiveness of the child's rights law in the state came to the fore as the children displayed their grasp of the law, while the Gospel Village Children's Band spurred the children to a chair dance competition. In an interview, the chairman on the occasion and a judge of the State High Court, Justice Teresa Obot, urged the children to spend their time wisely.
I told them throughout the program, we gave them advice. For every program we had for them, it meant something for them. Every program has a significance. For instance, how to brush their teeth, why to tell the truth, we all shared all those virtues and all those morals.
High point of the party was cutting of the cake.
The news continues after the break.
My challenge to the Akwa Ibom youth today is to rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. Rise up and protect the uncommon transformation. There must be sustainability. So for me as a governor, I'm charging Akwa Ibom children. The future belongs to you. Your fathers have done their bit. Rise up and protect your future. Bring a governor that will bring industrialization. Bring a governor that will bring progress. Bring a governor that will bring development. Not the one that goes on ethnic cleavage. Not the one that goes to bring tribalism. Not the one that gangs up with elders and wants to come through the window. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate our dear President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for the endorsement given to him by the National Executive Committee of our party as the sole candidate in 2015 presidential election. I want to thank the people of Nigeria for recognizing that leadership comes from God, and God gives it to whom He pleases. So I stand with my dear President so that he will succeed for my children to have Nigeria tomorrow. I thank Nigeria for supporting Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
Welcome back. The memory of the inauguration of the Akwa Ibom Stadium is still growing in the minds of those who thronged the 30,000 capacity stadium. AKBC TV News reporter Justice Udosar brings you the thrills and frills of the events, which attracted people of all walks of life. He also reports that Governor Akpabio had to prove his athletic prowess, having earlier scored the first solo goal of the stadium before national and international audience. His reports.
The D-Day, Friday the 7th of November 2014, an typical day in the life of Akwa Ibom State. Many fans of the game of football, and not only football, the love of sports, are here at the International Stadium, waiting for the arrival of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the company of the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Already our camera lenses had earlier on captured the number of people thronging the entrance gate to get themselves into the stadium.
More and more spectators came to the stadium, and within a twinkle of an eye, the 30,000 capacity stadium was filled to capacity. Commissioners, paramount rulers, members of the House of Assembly, federal legislators, civil servants, members of the National Youth Service Corps, women groups, youth organizations, supporters club led by the Akwa Ibom State branch in green, reporters from various print and broadcast organizations, and sports fans finding themselves as they waited for the formal opening of the event as the large stadium screens showcased the road to the completion of the edifice. Any fan, whether government or private, was awed and proud of the edifice, while pouring encomiums in superlatives as they described their feelings. Such people included the Special Advisor, Technical Matters, Engineer Etido Inyang, ex-internationals, and Akwa Ibom Sons, Etimesen and Friday Ekpo, President General Nigeria Football Supporters Club, and the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Anyeka Numana.
If you can give respect to Gospel Akpabio, give respect to God, because He has delivered, and I'm wondering what the detractors will say this time around.
Thank you so much. It's awesome. I mean, when I saw it, I didn't know it was going to be this beautiful, but what is on the ground is a world-class facility.
Excited, there's excitement in the air everywhere. People are rushing, they're trying to come in, even where this is on all television channels. People want to have a feel, they want to be part of this happiness.
An elected governor, Dr. Gospel Akpabio, while challenging youths to make adequate use of the facility to enhance their sporting careers, acknowledged the cheers from the appreciative crowd by doffing his cap, and later on turned himself into Usain Bolt Akpabio, the dash expert. More was to come in the world of sports as the Super Eagles took the center stage in their match against the Black Machetes of Ghana. Striking points of the match were three. First, the first international referee to officiate the match was an Akwa Ibom son, Anetie Udo, the first FIFA batch referee. Secondly, two Akwa Ibom sons and highest goal scorers in the league, Mfon Udo and Ememedwok, played for the Eagles. And thirdly, the first goal at the stadium in a competition was scored by an Akwa Ibom indigene, Ememedwok. Transformation Trophy was presented to the Super Eagles with goalkeeper Agbim holding on to the trophy, while Mfonodo, ex-Akwa United, and Joseph Berefe, Secretary Akwa United, expressed their minds.
Well, I feel great. I'm so happy to be one of the persons that is opening the stadium for the first time, and especially in my home ground, so I feel so great.
I feel very great that one of my former players has created history, scoring the first goal in this great edifice today.
For the media people, Colonel Edemefreti, who also covered proceedings, and Nwabasi Itwen, Swan Vice Chairman, and Tony Effiong, it was historic.
Well, I feel very excited. In fact, the game was itself entertaining, and I feel happy that the arrangement was made such that Nigeria could meet Ghana.
I'm really happy because the first goal of the Akwa Ibom International Stadium has been scored by not only a son of the soil, but a player from Itam, where I come from, so it makes me proud.
I'm happy to even take in the first goal by myself. It is an history for me also.
After several weeks of preparations, plenty of preparation there were, the Uyo International Stadium has been inaugurated. Of course, three presidents coming in, one from host Nigeria and Ivory Coast, and of course, Ghana, were all here to be part of the epoch-making occasion. A very proud Governor Gospel Akpabio will always remember today when he impacted on the sporting life of the people of Akwa Ibom State. From the International Stadium, Uyo, Justice Odosoro reported.
Many people have continued to react to the inauguration of the Akwa Ibom Stadium, which was performed last Friday by President Goodluck Jonathan in company of the counterparts from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. AKBC 45 News sampled the opinion of the people of how they rate the stadium. Ayageno Paul reports.
International Stadium is one edifice that will continue to be talked about for years. This explained why people struggled to gain entrance to the stadium during its inauguration. It could be that the mammoth crowd wanted to watch the three presidents that graced the occasion, the Songstars, Green Eagles players, Black Stars players, or the edifice itself. Like the little town of Bethlehem, Uyo hosted the whole world as people came from different parts to witness the record made by Governor Akpabio-led administration. To the governor, the edifice is to prove to the people that government works, and for the people that voted him to power to feel the dividend of democracy. To the people of the state, appreciation is not enough for the governor who has made them feel what others in the developed countries like United States of America have felt.
A welcome development, because such a thing we have been seeing outside countries like in England. We watch on television as Chelsea play against Man U, and we wonder, could this be true or false? So even me, I went there and I saw what happened. I think it's a very big thing that has happened to us. Thank you very much.
It's a very good thing that we have gotten in the States, especially in the history.
The stadium is one of the best in this country. In fact, from what I saw, in fact, it was a very great achievement.
The most amazing thing for me was he was able to gather 4 presidents of countries in one sitting, and he could hold them till 10:30, breaking every protocol. So I give the credit to my governor. He's one man who will always take the world by surprise.
To others, what gladdens their heart most is that it was actually the Akwa Ibom Sun that scored the lone goal.
It's basically the god of Akwa Ibom. Ememedwok is my community person. He's from Itam. After the match, everybody in the community was celebrating the fact that our own scored the goal.
I don't go in a community. I didn't guys, I'm at the stadium now. I guess one goal in Nigeria as a manager.
Well, say thanks to the governor of Akwa Ibom because he has done much.
To say the least, Friday the 7th of November will remain remarkable and green in people's memory. Ayageno Paul reporting.
The 84th Annual Conference of the African Episcopal Methodist Zion Church, Ndonebom District, has ended in Ndonebom with a call and faithful to imbibe sound morals for discipleship. In a sermon entitled Developing Disciples, drawn from the book of Luke chapter 9 verse 23, Bishop Michael Trencher outlined ways of obtaining good morals for discipleship. According to Bishop Trencher, the first step is for Christians to follow the steps of Jesus by giving a helping hand, care and love for one another. He advised believers to look unto the Savior, Jesus Christ, for their redemption.
Jesus say now that children need their parents. To follow him is to first deny ourselves, to recognize that we ain't got it all, to recognize that we can't do it all. We don't have all the knowledge and skills.
In his opening opening speech, the presiding minister, Reverend Ubong David, who spoke on the theme of the conference, Making Disciples, said disciples must show good example.
Follower who learns to believe in the truth of the doctrine or teachings of his teacher.
The conference, which began Thursday last week, featured communion, praise, and worship. The conference ended with the appointment of officers of the church and posting of ministers to the new stations, including Nse Edem, who was named the new president of Conference of Men Fellowship and director of public affairs of the church. Nse Edem, who is the secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Sports Council, described the conference as spiritually rewarding. Reverend Ubong Essien was also appointed the new presiding elder for Uyo District. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging onto akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45Uyo or at Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. That was the news for today. Now a recap of the highlight. President Goodluck Jonathan is to declare his intention to contest for a second term today. The event will take place at the Eagle Square, Abuja. We also brought you a report that the AKBC News Directorate has relocated to the transmission station in Tagiya. Thank you for staying with us. To have a lovely day.